Welcome everybody to the virtual yard. Welcome to Prioritizing Mental Health. This is a practical workshop and we hope that you enjoy it. I'd like to turn it over to Ashlea Smith, who's our executive director. She's going to be hosting this special session for you. Ashlea?
Thank you, Rita. And hi guys. It's good to see you on camera. And for those we can't see, we hope that you're all good and you're not too cold. Well, if you're in the UK, then you're probably most definitely cold because it's definitely feeling it here. But really excited about this evening. We're going to obviously touch on various things mental health related, which is we've got some wonderful guests who are going to share their experiences, their expertise. We're going to do something practical as well, which is going to be interactive, but really a chance for people to ask questions. And I think when we're on the topic of mental health, one thing that I'll definitely start with as a disclosure is, naturally there may be things that are talked about, and just to really emphasize the fact that this is, an area, a space for us that we want to be quite conscious and mindful of if people are sharing. And obviously there'll be things that maybe people want to keep confidentially, but it's just to feel that it's an open area. That's why we're here, to make sure that we can feel that we can share those things openly and ask questions and be curious. That's what we want to be able to do because we want to learn from each other. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce our first guest, the wonderful Sarafina Mitchell. And to give you a little bit of a flavor about Sarafina, she is a third-year pharmacy student currently studying in the UK. She is an aspiring pharmacist who plans to come back to Cayman Islands as a fully registered pharmacist. And she also competed in the 2022 Miss Caribbean UK pageant, where she left with the title of second runner-up. Just going to give a mini round of applause for that because it's a great achievement. She is a mental health advocate and continues to support her local charity of choice, which is the Alex Panton Foundation. She's also a member of the Girl Power Cayman Club as well. And attendees here today, you can expect to have helpful tips from Sarafina's mindfulness journey and how she has found encouraging students overseas to protect their mental health. So I'm going to hand over to you, Sarafina, and then we'll obviously introduce the guests as and when.
Hi, everyone. Hope you all had a good time over the holidays, anywhere that you're at, Cayman, UK. So today I have a presentation. So university is an exciting part of our lives. However, it comes with challenges, with our mental health sometimes. And I produced a presentation with the help of Alex Panton on tips on getting through. How would I change? So first of all, who am I? I know it's already said, but my name is Sarafina Mitchell. A few months ago, I decided to go up for the Miss Caribbean UK pageant. I initially joined to gain confidence in myself and empower myself. Through this, I decided to make mental health my platform, which was something I was really passionate about. And my charity of choice was the Alex Panton Foundation. Outside of that, I am a third-year pharmacy student studying at Aston University in Birmingham. So tip number one is basically make a routine. It helps you to stay in control. I provided a link here, which is canva.com, which I personally use for university. They have planners which are yearly, monthly, daily, whatever you're looking for. And if you like to print that out, it's really up to your preference. Some things to add into your planner is your wake up time. It's really important to wake up at a time that you can get things done. Also, it's good to make a morning routine. This can be a morning routine that basically sets the tone for the rest of the day. So one thing you could do is, set some oils, meditation, stretching, or even just simply making a nice breakfast for yourself. It's really what you like to do. Gym is a nice way to exercise, not only physically, but it helps you relieve stress mentally as well. Lectures, shopping, and socials, sorry. Socials, when it comes to socials, this can be either time by yourself or just time with other people. And with socials, you have to make a little wiggle room within your planner so you don't burn yourself out while you're in university. I provide a link here which provides 5 simple steps to help you take control of your day and set the mood for the day. Adjusting can be hard, but if you plan your routine well, you should be okay. And okay looks different for everyone. And I would like to ask anyone in the room if they would like to basically share what okay means to them. For me, it's basically being safe and well within myself. So even if you feel comfortable putting in the chat, that'll be great as well.
I'll say for me, Sarafina, being okay is grounded. That's one thing I feel like I have to do on a daily basis, and go out for a walk, be in nature and feel like I get some fresh air, feel grounded, definitely for me.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's feeling balanced and able to achieve at least a small number of things that I know I need to achieve that day without trying to achieve too many things. And I think, yeah, your point about having a routine here really helps that, and planning your day in advance so you know what's realistic to expect from yourself.
Okay. And I have one that says basically being okay is not feeling tugged too much in any one direction. Another one says being okay means that I am not overwhelmed or anxious. I feel balanced and accomplished with goals. I like that one. And this one says my okay is feeling control over things. That's really great. Another one said being present. It's great. Okay, next slide. Tip number 2, stay in touch. Connect with your friends and your family. And this one is really important. Staying connected with friends and family, both at home and place of study. When it comes to your place of study, it's important to also connect with other Caymanians. And a great way to do that is Cayman Day or any other Cayman Connection event that they may have. Also, the time differences can be hard, so make sure to set a regular time, kind of like interlinking with my previous tip on basically making a routine to catch, loved ones and connected ones. Also, connection is what, makes us feel safe, and it helps regulate our emotions as well. And another note I would like to add here is that, it doesn't hurt to send a spontaneous text with one of your friends or family, because you don't know what they're going through at that time. And what happened if, that text is something that will brighten up the day and make them feel like, yeah, this is something I can keep pushing through, Some, ones, some socials I would recommend would be Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Skype, whatever you're into. So tip number 3, basically make food. Find your local Afro-Caribbean store and try to make local comforting foods, whatever that reminds you of home. This can be a hands-on activity that you will not only create a craft, but you'll also enjoy later. You probably might not enjoy like washing up, but you will enjoy the food. Ideas that I personally made have been stew beef, curry, like plantain, or even yam. It all depends on what your store has. Another tip that I would add on here is if you are coming to the UK, maybe bring some sets of seasonings that that you love to use, because the seasonings here are a bit different, but it's really up to preference. So tip number 4, basically find a hobby. I list a few inexpensive ones. This goes for going for walks, trying out different cafes, going to the museum, the gym, which I previously stated in tip 1, drawing, learning how to cook, photography, crocheting. The last 4 are a way of actually bringing out your creative side. Also, the weather is somewhat coming nice in the UK now. I don't know if you realize, but the sun's coming out a bit. It wouldn't mind to go for a walk, look at new places. And if you live in the city center, there's always something to do. You can't never run out of ideas. And if you're far away from the city, then, you're just a Google search away from finding places. Tip number 5, join a society or a club. Join societies that you're interested in, meet like-minded individuals, and form genuine connections. Some great examples can be the Afro-Caribbean Society, because of course, we're all Caribbean, Caymanians, of course. Course specific, this could be law, pharmacy. With course specific, it can help you even excel into your own course when you meet other individuals with your own course. You might meet like a person who is in 4th year and you're in 3rd year like me, and they can provide you some tips and stuff that can help you within your course and get better. Sports, this can be football, rugby, and there might be even some athletic scholarship people inside here maybe. And if you're not really into that, it's still a good way to get moving. Religion, and you have interest specific. This can be like if you're into books like manga, film, photography, whatever the sorts. Tip number 6 is to embrace your novelty. This is a very important tip. In a sense, it basically means just to embrace your uniqueness and stay true to yourself. I want to point out saying that we're all unique in our own way. And, you know, if you guys feel comfortable enough, I want you guys to name one thing that makes you unique, like, that, you sets you apart from everyone. This can be your goals, your activities, your talents, your personality. For me, it will be my personality, because even though when you see me, I'm a bit shy, but once I warm up to you, I'll be the most funniest person you'll ever meet. Well, so my friends say. But if you guys can, just say what, make you stand out, make you unique. Someone said their compassion for others. That's beautiful. My smile and genuine interest in others and their needs and well-being. That's great. My extroversion.
I think your love for food, Ayanda, as well, was definitely one that should go on there too.
My wicked sense of humor. I feel you on that one. That's great. So some ways to embrace this is to accept who you are. It's difficult to be different, but if you refuse to accept your identity, everyone has a story to tell. Listen to theirs and you'll find your own. Stop trying to compromise on who you are. Find your crowd and people with similar interests. And this can relate with my tip of, finding a hobby or even joining a society or club. Embrace your talents and skills and accept them for what they are. Embrace your beliefs and don't change them to fit others' views. Spend time doing what you love and not what you have to do. And that one I would say is really important because, as university students, we have an obligation to, do work and stuff, but sometimes we should, take breaks for ourselves and do things that we love to do so we don't burn out. Accept criticism and encompass it into your life. So with this slide, I want to basically say, accept yourself for the good and bad that you are. And it's nothing to be ashamed of to not be mentally okay all the time. In the day, we're all human. We all handle it differently. And when you think about it, that's another way that makes us unique. When we overcome it, we become stronger individuals that, we can face anything in the future. Tip number 7, which is my final tip. This is to basically be informed of local mental health services. I provided 2 resources here. The first one is international student support. When you click on it, you will see different supports within the UK, US, wherever you might be. Also, the second one is UK based, which is an NHS link. You would go forward by putting in your postcode, and it's a 24-hour service that you can use. Some good places to also check out is your university website and see the mental health resources they might have, because some of them might have counseling services. And also check your GP and see if that you might need to be referred. Slide number 10. So on the right-hand side, I have my IG where you guys can contact me, or you know, you can see my pageant journey as well. I provide the link for Alex Panton and Cayman Connection and some additional resources that I used to make this presentation today. I would like to thank you all for listening. And without further ado, do you have any questions?
I do quickly. That was brilliant. Thank you. And I did make a point to say that penultimate slide there about being unique is something that I think when I'm talking to people who are coming over for the first time, or in my history of kind of doing this, I haven't taken into consideration that much, and I think it's brilliant. And I think part of a challenge of being overseas and far from home is that you're trying to adjust to being different, let's say, or unique in a different culture. And I think embracing that uniqueness is something we can absolutely teach our young people more and more, and think of ourselves. So I just want to say thank you for that, because that's brilliant. And I'm going to think, you definitely made me think more about how I approach that area of things. And my question really was, when you first came over here, to the UK, what were your sort of initial impressions about how the adjustment would be for you? I know that's a huge question, but just even top points or top challenges for you.
Okay. So when I started university, I came basically when COVID-19 was in an uproar. So I didn't really get, the full experience I wanted, but I knew that it was going to be a big city and a big amount of people compared to back home. So when I went there, and I was just there like, wow, the city's so big, there's so much people. And, for the first few days, it was okay before, lockdown really got hard. But I didn't even have classes, I would say, to even meet individuals. But like a few individuals would ask me, certain questions. And it's just like, I wouldn't really understand, like, their slang, or like to really understand how to, in a sense, communicate, because like our norms are different from their norms, and I didn't really put that in consideration. So it was a bit of an like a big, huge adjustment, especially like, coming from a small island, but it was a, good adjustment, I would say, that I needed to, broaden my sense.
Amazing. Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for all of that.
Great. Thank you, Sarafina. If there's any other questions, do feel free to either bring yourself off mute or pop something in the chat. But I think just on behalf of everybody, that was really refreshing just to hear. And I think, I don't know if anybody else finds it, but the slide on authenticity can sometimes be a little bit almost uncomfortable, because we're not usually told to say what's good about yourself, which is quite maybe reflective of a lot of the different systems we have. So I know that one thing certainly that I like to do and put in place is affirmations, and that certainly helps. But saying it in a group as well, there's something quite powerful about that. So thank you for bringing that to the session. And for sharing your thoughts and experiences, and also the links as well that are super helpful. So I just want to introduce our second guest to the yard. We have Dr. Shari Smith, and Dr. Shari is representative of Alex Panton Foundation that Sarafina has so kindly mentioned already. And Dr. Shari is a licensed clinical psychologist with over 30 years of experience in special education and disability in the Cayman Islands. She is a founder and owner of Life Options and the facilitator for Teen Talk, which is sponsored by the Alex Panton Foundation. Dr. Shari is passionate about working with young people and adults who struggle with anxiety and depression, and persons experiencing difficulty navigating the transitions of life, which we've all been through at some point or another. Dr. Shari utilizes a holistic approach when working with her clients, incorporating a format that appreciates the connection between the mind, body, and spirit, and how we are all key in learning how to manage the many challenges in life. So pretty incredible person off that bio. Dr. Shari, welcome to the yard, and thank you for joining us. And I know that you just going to give us a bit of a flavor about Alex Panton, the services you guys provide, and some other kind of signposting to where people can find out more information in the Cayman Islands on mental health.
Sure. So thank you for inviting us. It's always a pleasure for the foundation to partner with Cayman Connections, and I know we've been doing it for a couple of years now, especially during this, this particular project. So most people probably are familiar with the Alex Panton Foundation. If not, a snippet is that it's a foundation that is based here in Cayman, and really the mission is to work on destigmatizing the issues around depression and anxiety, to educate persons more about depression and mental illness, as well as suicide. And we also look at providing resources here in our community for teens and up to the age of 30. So we have different programs that we provide resources for. So a couple of those to share with persons. We have an adult group, which is called Breaking Barriers, that meets locally at the public library every Saturday. Right now it's on hiatus. I think it's going to start back in February due to the facilitator not being well. So hopefully February that will be back on. There is some discussion of possibly making that online as well. So being able to connect with more of the adult and older population who may not be able to get access to actually coming into the public library. So that is one of our resources. A second resource that we have for our younger persons, so our teens, we have from ages 13 to 17, I actually facilitate a online group called Teen Talk. And that is going to be hosted on Wednesdays. We're trying to change up the times. We used to be Saturdays, but everybody's busy on a Saturday. So it's on Wednesday afternoons from 6 to 6:45 starting in February. And really, it is just an opportunity for young persons to come online and have a conversation with a clinician and ask questions about things that they may be having challenges with, or more information. We will have topics of discussion each month, but it's open to, if there's a particular question that they have, then, we facilitate that discussion. And it's, again, just to kind of educate and give a safe environment for young people to come share or ask questions, and just get more information so they can, again, know where the resources are that they can get help. When they do not all have to put their cameras on, they can change their name. All they do is go to the Alex Panton Foundation website and click on under the initiatives. So under initiatives, we have the list of all the things that the foundation provides. And they can click and register for Teen Talk, and then they will get the link for the Zoom call for that particular Wednesday. And that's the same link that we'll use for the rest of the quarter or the term. So we have that. And then the other initiative that we also have is we provide financial assistance to persons being able to access counseling services. And how that works is, again, the age group is, from children up to 30. And it's really there for persons who either financially are not able to access mental health services, whether it's because they don't have any insurance or if they have limited insurance. It's also, we have been talking about, I've encouraged them to expand it, where we look at our young people who are off overseas and may have already connected with a counselor locally and want to connect with someone locally. So the process would be that if that individual already has a counselor here locally, is just checking the website to see if they're one of the approved facilitators. And if they are, then you would just work with them to complete the financial forms, and that would be submitted for review and determined if it meets the criteria. If they don't have someone they're already connected to, then again, looking on the website to see who the services are there, the facilitators are there, connecting with one of the facilitators, providers, and again, going through that process. But we wanted to open that up to try again to make sure that our students, especially our students who are navigating all kinds of stuff, we're still in COVID. Those who are in the UK or in Canada, weather, we've seen a lot of our students really struggling with the climate changes and the drastic climate changes this year. I know some people say there's no, climate change in green, but that is being disproved on a daily basis. And so we just want to make sure that they get access to the resources that they need. What else we also have, we will go into the schools and provide resources and support, again, information and presentations on the various services and various disorders or questions people may have. In the elementary schools, we do have a emotional literacy program that's being provided in the public schools, and that's been really successful over the last couple of years in helping children learn to express their feelings, learn how to regulate, and how to make sure that they understand what it means to feel sad, and if they are happy, and making that differentiation, and again being able to express themselves, especially when we see, or again, young people and little ones are struggling with all kinds of things. We see them when they come into class, but we don't know what is going on, once they leave that classroom and they go home, and what they're having to deal with. So again, another important program that's being provided. And of course, research in terms of looking at the numbers among our teen population in terms of mental health, and being able to share that information. On the 18th of February, the annual youth symposium is being held here in Cayman, and again, another opportunity for information from various mental health providers and professionals who will be sharing on the topic of actually trauma and trauma in teens. So that's kind of us in a nutshell.
It sounds like there's a lot there that you guys do.
There is a lot, and it's a nonprofit organization, and it's all done by volunteers. So it is a lot, but it's a well needed resource. And actually, forgot, we just opened. You may have seen in the news. The foundation partnered with HSA, and we just opened Alex's Place, which is an emergency mental health hub for children, young and teens at the hospital. And this will be a place for when children and young persons who need to get access to mental health resources, but may not necessarily, going into A&E is just really not conducive. And so this is an alternative. It will have a on-site clinical psychologist. There's a psychiatrist. There are different rooms for various therapy. So opportunity for assessment, for family support. So it's just in its early phase. Like the opening was just last week. But again, a really much needed resource here in Cayman, because we really don't have that kind of safe space for such kind of emergency clinical support for our young people. We've had to, group them with the adults and so forth, and which really isn't, appropriate and support for them. So really excited that is now open and available, and it's going to, continue to be able to share more resources to our community.
Amazing. What an incredible achievement. And where is that located specifically?
It is actually at the old GP location at the HSA in Georgetown.
Nice. Wonderful. Well, I'm sure you're going to help many people through that. Thank you so much for that oversight. And I know there's probably a lot more that goes on behind the scenes, but does anyone have any questions for Dr. Shari about Alex Panton, or just generally through the wider work that's happening, or any kind of curious questions about anything mental health related? do feel free to pop in the chat or come off mute. Okay. Well, we can continue on because we're still here. So if there is anything that pops into mind, whilst we've got the specialist in the room, definitely do feel free to pick her brain. So I'm just going to move on now to our poll part of the call. So we've got just a few questions that we're going to put out to you, which are just really obviously mental health focused, that we're keen to get your input on and thoughts, and then have a bit of a discussion about. So I'm hoping that this should launch for you to be able to see. So there should be 3 questions that will come up. Do let me know if you have any problems with accessing. And hey, Caitlin, I can see you joined us. Welcome. So can people see the poll that's come up? They're just thinking intently about question answers. And just on this reminder that this is anonymous, so do feel, you know, any discussion we have, people can feel free to come forward and to talk a bit more about their answers, but don't feel that your answer, we're going to have names of sort of associated to different answers or anything like that. It's not saying that anybody has participated on my end, but I don't know if that's just my my Zoom not liking
I submitted mine.
You see it on yours? You can see the answers?
I submitted mine too.
Yeah.
We can't see the answers though.
Okay, well, if I press
No
end,
answers.
if I press end poll, we'll see if it
Yeah, I think that does it.
results. It's not showing me anything. Could anybody else see anything? Yeah. Oh, that's good. Rita, if you can tell me we'll go for number 1 on the what is mental health. So obviously we had a few different options. What's kind of the leading answer?
Sure. So we had 8 out of 9 persons respond to this, and we had 89% of people who responded believe that mental health is it's like physical health, in the sense that it can change throughout our life. So it is not something static, and in one day you can go through, I guess, different states of being. We also had then the second highest answer was 3 out of 9 persons answered. 33% said it is a condition like anxiety, depression, or schizophrenia.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No one answered, I don't fully understand it, and no one answered, it is not something I feel comfortable discussing.
Mm-hmm. Great, thank you for that one. Dr. Shari, I'm going to put you on the spot for this one, because I imagine that this is something you get asked plenty of times across your various different interactions through Alex Panton. How do you tend to kind of define this in a nutshell, if asked kind of what is mental health?
So, I mean, in the, it's more less technical term or state, your mental health is how you are functioning emotionally, in regards to feelings, and and that obviously impacts your physical well-being as well, right? So we have this mental wellness and mental health, so we kind of make sure that you're taking care of your mental wellness. That's a terms that are being kind of the in terms for right now. But when we talk about mental illness, it's when you see that there is something that is impacting your ability to function daily. So if you have, anxiety would look like something that is consistently impacting how you are able to function and do whatever the daily activities are. So, if it's, you'll have people who have, test anxiety, and they may find that when they go to take a test, every time they go take a test, they start to get sweats, and they, heart rate starts to go up, and their mind starts to get clouded. And some people, it's so bad that they, just completely blank out, and that's it. They can't actually function. So it's anything, in that terms of whether it's extreme sadness or feeling blue or being nervous about something, racing thoughts, that are really stopping you from doing what it is that you need to do. When we get concerned is when that is happening over an extended period of time. And like I said, it's preventing you from actually functioning normally. All of us have anxiety. All of us feel sad. All of us, have, emotional times. If we have a loss, we will grieve, and we will be sad for a period of time. Those are normal. Those help us. I mean, especially in terms of anxiety, we have the whole fight or flight syndrome, and that actually keeps us on our toes and keeps us alert of things that might be coming around the corner or danger, right? But too much of that, if you're constantly operating in that fight or flight mode, then it gets to be really concerning and can impact other things that the person needs to do. So hopefully I answered.
So much. Great. Great. And this is why you're the professional coming to give us that little bit of flavor. And it's really helpful, because I think depending on how much we've been exposed to different whether that's kind of facts or personal lived experiences, it can be it's a big realm that can be a little bit scary. There's a lot out there. So thank you for that. We do obviously have the other two polls, which we will potentially come back to at the end. So thank you for participating in that. The one I do want to touch on before I introduce Caitlin is just the second question, which says about accessing. Do you feel that you're accessing enough mental health support overseas? And as you will have been able to see, that the majority of you have said about appreciating more support. So I want to put a pin in that to say that, absolutely, if there is anything that Cayman Connection, Alex Panton, etc. can support with, then please do feel reach out. That's what we're here for, and we will signpost accordingly. So just to acknowledge that one for sure, because it's extremely important. So Caitlin, who has joined us, welcome. So just to introduce the wonderful Caitlin Tyson is a Caymanian American actress, writer, influencer, beauty pageant title holder, and registered yoga instructor based in New York City and the Cayman Islands. She has an associate's degree in English literature, and in 2016 graduated with a degree from the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, Professional Acting Conservatory in New York City. Caitlin has been such an incredible personality and influencer across the Cayman Islands. So we are so grateful to have you today, and going to join us to help us with some breath work and some vision board exercises. So I'm going to pass over to you and look forward to it.
Thank you for that introduction. Hi, everybody. These Zoom things are always so weird for me when everyone's on mute, and I'm like... But
hello.
I know
You can tell us all to talk to you, Caitlin. We'll happily talk to you.
I know it like throws it off when everyone's mic is on, but I do like to hear the feedback and everything. But right now, I just want to kind of take everyone through some breath work. I don't know if you've done breath work before, or if you've had any sort of introduction to meditation or yoga or anything like that. I just want to show you how accessible it is for you to just reconnect with your body, fully inhabit your body, find some peace, some calm, whether you're at your desk at work, you're in class, you're home, you just wake up in the morning, you can access your breath whenever. So it's one of the biggest tools that I use when it comes to just reconnecting and staying in tune with how I'm feeling in the present moment, not worried about the future, not stressing about the past that's already happened, but just what's going on right now today. So I don't know, what time is it for you guys? Are you guys at 7, 8?
So UK based, we're 20 to 7. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So I won't do anything too energizing for you guys so you can like be on the come down and relax for bed. But if you're seated, this is something you can do laying down. Like I said, if you just woke up in the morning or if you're getting ready to go to sleep, you can be seated on the floor. You can be seated in a chair. So wherever you are right now, I would just like, if you have access, if you can put your feet, both of your feet on the floor, flat on the floor. If you have shoes on, take them off. You can keep your socks on if you're cold, but just having both feet flat on the floor. And so now I would just invite you to close your eyes if you'd like. You'll have my voice to guide you through it. So just close your eyes and kind of get in tune with your body and just breathe your normal breath and just be curious. And I want to remind you throughout this, if I'm giving you a prompt, you are welcome to join along with me, but I want you to follow your own breath at all times and what feels comfortable for you. We're not in person, so I won't be able to gauge if we're all on the same timing. There might be lag and different issues. So at any time, even if I'm saying hold, breathe, please breathe. Okay, so as you're breathing, I just want you to be curious and to scan your body. If there are any places that might feel a little bit tense, is there a little tension in the neck, in the shoulders, in your back, in your hips? If you feel anywhere that's a little tense, I would invite you just to breathe into those spaces if you can send breath with intention. I want you to take note of how you're feeling right now, your mood. Are you feeling restless? Is your grocery list the first thing on your mind right now? Everything you have to do tomorrow? Whatever might be popping in, I want you to just thank the thoughts for coming and invite them to move along. And just be curious. I'd like for everyone to think of an intention and set an intention for this practice if you can. Something that you're hoping to achieve maybe in the next month, 6 months, or this year. It doesn't matter, even if it's just eating healthier tomorrow or something like that. I'd like you just to set an intention for yourself right now. Now bringing attention to your feet, that should be in contact with the floor. With a slow inhale, I'd like you to imagine drawing energy from the floor, from the ground, from the earth. Even if you're on the 8th floor of an apartment building, draw the energy up through the soles of your feet, up to your knees, and back towards your hips. And on the exhale, I want you to imagine the energy flowing right back from your hips, down through your knees, down and out through the soles of your feet. And we're going to just do that for 5 cycles. And again, following your own breath on your inhale, drawing the energy up. And on your exhale, energy's flowing right back down. Very good. Thank you. So you're going to let that go. And now we're going to try breathing together on a 4 count. So it'll be inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll hold. 1 and exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we'll do that together. Okay. So getting ready. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. And exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold. Inhale and hold. And exhale, 4, 3, 2, hold. Good, and let that go and just breathe normally. I'd like you again to be curious and just to scan your body. How are you feeling? Has anything shifted? Has everything stayed the same? Just scanning your body. Release that and observe. And now, after that gentle breathing, I just want us to kind of think about the lungs and the role that they play in our life. It's an automatic process that is always working for our good. We don't really have to think about breathing, but we do breathe, and it keeps us going. Without breath, without inhalation, there's no inspiration, there's no room for any movement. So how many other things in your life might be working automatically in your favor that you might not be aware of right now? Just think about that. And so the lung capacity, usually when we are breathing, we breathe in our chest, in our neck, in our shoulders, because in our modern everyday life, we don't require so much breath. We're not running in the desert, we're not climbing up mountains, but the lungs have a huge capacity. They move laterally outward, forward, backwards. And so that's what I want us to do, and just see how much breath we can get in. And so I want to bring our focus back to our intention. And on your inhale, I want you to inhale that intention, new positive things that you want to bring into your life, new habits, new ways of thinking that you want to bring into your life this year. And on your exhale, release everything that no longer serves you. Relationships, ways of thinking, habits, and patterns that no longer serve you. And on that inhale, it's your intention. Okay? So together, as much as we can, we're going to inhale. And as you get to the top, I want to see how much more breath you can fit in there. Fill up as much as you can and let it go. And get out as much as you can. And inhale. And exhale. Let's inhale that intention. I'll fill it up. And exhale. And release everything that is no longer serving you right now. Inhale. And let's exhale on a sigh. I know I can't hear you guys, but I trust you're doing it. Inhale. And exhale on a sound. Get some vibration in that body. Inhale all of the intention that you've set for yourself, all the new opportunities that are coming to you. Inhale it. And exhale everything that no longer serves you. One more together. Inhale. And exhale on a big sound if you can. And just come back to your normal breathing. And again, scan your body. What might have shifted? What might have stayed the same? How is your mood now? Are you a little more relaxed? Are you ready to go to sleep? Okay, and you can open your eyes. Okay. So I don't know how this usually works. If anyone wants to like a comment or an observation or a question, open to anything right now.
Caitlin. I think I sent my wrong intention, because my intention was to motivate myself to get out in the dark and rain to go to the gym after this is finished. But now I feel so relaxed. I'm like, why would I do that to myself? So yeah, I'm definitely keen to hear what everyone else's intentions were, but that was very chilled, very relaxing.
Yeah, that was great. Thank you. I recognized that, and I'm a little tired. I didn't get a huge amount of sleep last night, so I think but I recognized that as soon as I started giving myself more air, like my body just wanted more and more oxygen and wanted to keep going. And I yawned about 1,000,000 times, not so much because I was tired, but because I'd started the process and my mind, it's almost like my mind recognized, okay, right, we're doing this. And it's like, more, I want to get more oxygen. I almost can feel all the oxygen going around my body.
Right.
And I was, and then, you know, I was so pleased when you said at the end, you're like, okay, and take more, fill up as much as you want. And my body was going, yes, yes, yeah, more. So that was great. Thank you. It's a good reminder of how important it is to breathe and the effect that it has.
Awesome. Yeah, and I just had a really busy morning, so this was really great for me too. Just like running around, and my breath is just like completely just like right here. So just now when I was telling you guys to inhale, I also felt like I got to the top. But then I'm like, no, I know that there's more space there. There's more that I can find. So this was really good for me too, honestly. Yes. Anyone else? I always like to ask questions, so.
We can I was going to put her on the spot anyway, because we've had someone sneakily join, Samara, who is the current title holder of Miss Caribbean UK, who's joined. So I'm not sure, she may be there, she may be in the background, whether she can share her intention with us that she did through her breath work. If not, we'll see what others have maybe had.
Hi everyone. Hiya, sorry, I've not made it quite home yet, but I joined on. Hello.
Hey, Samara.
But yes, I want to thank you all for doing that with me. And just a reminder that you can access your breath at any time of the day, whenever you're feeling stressed, when you're in your car, in traffic, or on public transportation, you can always access your breath. It's always there for you. So that's why I wanted us to really kind of ground and fully inhabit our body here. I think there was a quote, like someone said this to me, I think an instructor, and they said like, we tend to live up here in our head, and we feel that we live up here, but what makes us any less our hands or our feet or our legs than we are our brain and our eyes. This is all of us. This is it. So we should treat it well. This is our first home. It's our last home, and it's always working for us. So as much as we can, just check in with yourself throughout the day. That's something that's really helped my mental health when I'm kind of, you know, lashing out at people, or I'm lashing out at myself internally. And then I just check in. I'm like, oh, what am I feeling right now? Let me give that a voice. Let me give that some attention. So I want us just to be very present in the moment, because this is all that we really have, is right now. And this, if we lost all of our possessions tomorrow, what we have is our body and this moment right here. Okay. And so now that we're present and we're here and we're breathing, now we can talk about intention setting for the future. So I don't know if anybody has done a vision board before or knows what a vision board is. Can you just like raise your hand or virtually raise your hand? I think there's a way on Zoom to raise your hand, right? Yeah. Okay, I see a little hand.
I've heard of them, and I get it, and I think it would be a wonderful thing, but I've never actually done one before.
Hey, so this will be pretty cool. Obviously it would be great if like we all in person, we could cut out the stuff together and glue it all in and do all that, but I'm just going to kind of help you all with that process. So a little story, short story. The first time I did a vision board, I think was early, I want to say like 2018 was the first time that I did it. And I was living in New York at the time and just really working really hard. Everything was very focused. I was like barely sleeping, and I just decided to write down my intentions. And the way that it came about, I put 4 sections. The first one was career. The second one was creativity and art. The third section was family, friendships, and like relationships. And the last section was health. So those were my main focuses. And then I just wrote words like in every in every section. And on the headline, I put a little mantra that I am healthy, wealthy, and content. Everything that I want is making its way to me, and everything that I need, I currently have. So that was my mantra that I was saying every single day. For a starving artist, that was what I needed to be reminded of. I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm content. You know? It was like, it's almost a fake it till you make it thing. Sorry? Hello? Oh, sorry, I didn't catch it. But so I would like you guys to think of a mantra or your intention or even an affirmation that you really like. And you can like kind of put that right on the top there. I always think that's really powerful, especially if it's your own words, something that you really need in the moment. And under the career section, I put that, you know, I want to book 10 gigs in 4 months, whether it's modeling, acting, voice acting, whatever it is. I want to book 10 gigs and I want to get paid for those gigs. Creativity. I want to write and create more work with my friends, with people that I love. I want to create things that matter to me. And with family, I want to reintroduce myself to my friends and my family. I want to set clearer boundaries. And health was obviously the things like drink less coffee, drink more water, stretch every morning, stuff like that. And all of the goals that I set for myself that year, every single thing on that vision board came true. Everything happened. Every single thing that I put there happened. And that's when I was like, okay, maybe there's something to this, you know? Because it wasn't just that I wrote it there and then I forgot about it. Every single day I was checking in and looking, and I would cross things off and I would add new things, you know, that my art will sustain me. I was writing things like that I'm open to new opportunities. And that same year I went and competed in Miss Universe Cayman Islands, and I won that year as well. So I was just blown away by the power of that. But of course you have to work towards it. So I want to let you guys know that a vision board can be anything you want. For me, what it is it's you keeping yourself accountable. It's you kind of confronting yourself every day and saying, hey, remember that thing we said we wanted to do? Let's do it. So it doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to have pictures. It can be just words and bullet points. It can change. It can be a short-term goal list. It can be long-term goals. It can be for the year, 6 months. You can do whatever you want. The only 2 rules I have really would be when you're making it, that you are really focusing on your intentions while you're doing it. So if there's distractions going on, I would say wait until you can just focus and it's just you know, some music, whatever, some incense, whatever you need, you and a couple people that you really love and trust, focusing on your intentions, because specifics and different wording will come to you when you're in that space. And I think you have to be really specific, because if you put on your vision board, you know, I want to get a boyfriend this year, you know, it might not be a good boyfriend. So you want to be specific about what you're putting on there. You see what I mean? And so that's the one rule. That's the first rule I have. The second one would be that you have to put it somewhere that you can see it every day. So you can't make it and then toss it in the closet. You know, I would put it like above my desk, or, you know, by the door when I'm leaving the house, so I can look at it every day instead of looking in the mirror and then obsessing about how I look. I would put my vision board by the door, stuff like that. So just being intentional even with the placement. So I have an example of the 2 that I made after. This was 2019. This is when I was currently Miss Cayman and I was exhausted. And I made this one, this was about like halfway through the year. It wasn't at the beginning of the year, because I found that I like to do it in the beginning of the year, but sometimes I don't know what I want to do yet. I don't know what I want yet on January 1st. It's like, I still need you know, so sometimes clarity will come to you in a few weeks, in a few days. So this one I wrote, this was more like for my person, my soul. Can you guys see? So this is when I was getting a little more creative, and you can go like to the store and see, like, buy a frame, and the cardboard that it comes in, you can just use that, and then now you can put it up and it's pretty. So here I have sleep. You've earned it, because I was very, very tired. This is me. Wow. And so I was really inspired to write more stories about my people and about things that have inspired me. So that's why I wanted Black art and culture, excellence, cinema. You know, I have health really big here, because I was going and not really focusing on my health. That's something I notice as a pattern with me. Whenever I get busy, I completely put myself on the back burner. And then I'm wondering why I'm burnt out at the end of the day. And right down here, I have, again, some mantras. I am healthy, wealthy, and content. I am fluid like water. I am worthy. My success or failure does not define me. Yeah, things like that. And so on this side here, on this other one, this was my professional one, right? This was for 2019. We didn't know what was going to happen in 2020. You know, life and stuff, but here we go. So welcome home. I wanted to move into a new apartment, which I did, and wanting balance. Like I wanted to go outside more. I know when you live in a city, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to go back home. Oh, paradise. And then when you're here, you never go to the beach. You never are doing those things. So that's what I wanted. It's just more balance. And here it was very simple, more writing, dance, move, more joy, celebrate the love that you have, be proud, stuff like that, investing, solving your problems, growth, abundance, art, right? Yeah, so these are the two that I have. I don't know if you guys can see them well. I'm such a good, I'm not like, so I want you to know that you can be free to do whatever it is that you want. So I think Ashley has made a jam board for us. And I would love if everybody here would like want the intention that we've been setting for today. If you would just add your intention on there in the Jamboard, it should be available in the chat.
Yeah, so we can see it hopefully, and if you click on the link, you should be able to access it. It might be a bit different if it's on your phone, but what you do is just press this little sticky note thing here, and then you can write whatever it is you want, and then it will just go on right here. You can choose a different color, or if this is a bit too techy, you can also come off mute and tell us, and we can add it to the board as well, or pop it in the chat, whichever works for you.
Technology is so cool. I don't know, I'm not good at any of this stuff, but let me add them.
Mine.
Oh, so if I click on the link, I should be able to. Wait, I think I missed something. So when you go to it, what do you click on to add? Oh, the
So
little
just
plus.
this little sticky note bit here, the little square. That's the one. Got some interesting
Thank
ones already. I'm loving what's being put on here. There's some very, especially the intent to get a first this academic year. I love the confidence and the tenacity with it. It's great. Particularly, I intend to speak to myself the way I would to a friend. Oh, thank you for joining, Kate. Have a good one.
Thank you so much, all. Really great session. I really enjoyed that, every minute of it. Thank you. And I'm going to share it and take it with me and share this video when we're done so that it can help more people. So thank you so much.
Thank
you.
Take care. So does anyone want to come off mute and who we've maybe not heard from and talk around their intention? There's some really, really interesting ones here. So is there anyone that wants to? I like this. I intend to embrace my challenges. One, I'm not sure who that is. Samantha, I think you're off mute.
Yes. How's everyone doing? Hi, I'm multitasking at work. So, couple of things. I really loved Caitlin sharing her vision boards. They were really helpful. I don't know if you can see just behind me, peeking out of the corner next to the whiteboard. I actually did a session with my team back in November where we had EAP come in and take us through a vision board exercise, and it was really, really helpful. They brought the magazines, we all cut out together. We had some soca playing in the background, we had refreshments. It was really nice. And so I've taken it upon myself to keep my vision board quite central. So it's actually mounted in my office. And then something that I do in my personal life is I kind of set a word for the year. I've done this for the last maybe 5 years. So I've had words like intentional, discipline, family. This year, my word for the year is wisdom. And so what I've done, and I'm gonna just hold it up to the screen, is I kind of created this one page kind of summary with the word for the year central in the middle. And then like Caitlin was saying, I picked out my different categories. So I have faith in church, marriage, finances, fun, family and home, personal development, career, work, health, and self-care. So that's 10 different categories. And with the help of Pinterest, I came up with this design. And so basically I just chose a color for each of those domains and just very, very specific to each one. I had to make it very specific so that it would become realistic. So for example, under the faith and church one, I have daily devotionals, read through the Pentateuch, which are the first 5 books of the Bible, Bible before phone. So first thing in the morning, I shouldn't be checking WhatsApp. I should be looking at my devotional. Under health, I have more greens, more water, walk, more stretch daily, less sugar. So just very specific. And I took a picture of it so that it could come with me wherever I go. And then I have the hard document in a drawer, and I just actually put reminders in my phone to check in on myself. I'm trying to do it weekly, but I would say monthly is probably more realistic. But yeah, I just wanted to share that because I just thought it was in alignment with the awesome presentation from Caitlin, and just to show like different ways of getting the same information or the same sort of processes flowing with the brain. So yeah, thank you for this exercise. It's really awesome. And I love stuff like this. I find it so helpful. And just the creative aspect of it too, like using all the colors and drawing, like I really found that therapeutic too. So it was a way to have a creative outlet at the same time too. So I'm gonna go back into hiding, but I just wanted to share that.
Thank you for sharing. That's so awesome. And yeah, that's what I love about this. It can be any way that you want it to be. You know, you can really put your creative stamp on it and what works for you at the time. So like my first vision board, that was just words. I needed just something clearly outlined. You know, that was the place that I was in. And then now I'm able to have fun with more creative stuff. And maybe the next year I'll need something that's really like again, really straightforward. So it can grow with you, it can change with you. I think a great way is like to make one on like Canva, or like a kind of collage of images that really speak to you, and use it as like your home screen on your phone or something like that. So you know you're going to see it every day too. That's something that I'm doing right now as well. So I'm loving all of this, all of positive energy. And I want to thank you all again for going through this with me. I love all of the intentions that we're seeing on the Jamboard and the things that are being said in the chat. So yeah, I'm full. Thank you guys so much. And I'll hand it back over to you, Ashley.
Thank you so much, Caitlin. That was awesome. I just want to come to Miss Lorene. I think you had your hand up. Did you want to come off?
I wanted to try to
Sorry, we're struggling to hear you a bit. Say that again for me.
It was the intention. I got the blank page, but I couldn't run to it.
You can tell us what your intention is for sure.
Mm.
Do you wish to share?
Yeah, my intention is to love myself, love my family, and love everyone in the world. That's my intention.
Well, that's a pretty big intention, but I love it. So for those who didn't hear, love myself, love my family, and love those around the world, which I think is a pretty great way to kind of conclude that session. But I think, you know, it's been really helpful. I'm just gonna stop sharing this a second. And one thing that I was actually going to share, which I did recently, which is, I guess, a bit opposite to a vision board, but I call it the wobble board. So if I have those moments where I feel like I'm wobbling, or I'm like maybe a bit anxious, or there's something going on and I'm like, oh, it's really offset my day, it's like a similar kind of like outset kind of a cork board, and I have different things, and they could be anything but just reminders of the people in my life that I love and that love me, things, various different bits and pieces. So yeah, I tried to, I don't know if it's, I linked it to physical activity somehow with it being like a wobble board, but yeah, it's definitely helped me. But thank you so much. Any questions or anything for Caitlin before she heads off? Feel free to come off mute, or again pop something in the chat.
Can I tell about my vision board?
Sorry, say that.
Can I tell you about my vision board?
Yes, please do.
Basically, I didn't know anything about vision boards, but I used to travel around the world, and I used to collect banknotes, lower denominations banknotes. So I made a vision board with lots and lots of banknotes on it, but I didn't know it was a vision board at the time. Yeah.
Love that. Yeah, you're a bit in and out, but I definitely got that they've been quite significant to you when you've been traveling around as well, which is, and I think that's the beauty of the vision boards. You can take them with you, but also like you know, I think it was Samantha that had earlier, taking a picture of them to have on your phone if you're traveling as a good reminder as well, which is great. Cool. Anything else, any comments, thoughts, or observations before we kind of round off today's session? Okay, so I believe we Arita's gonna put in the chat just some of the links that we're gonna signpost to. So we have some mental health support on the Cayman Connection website, which will direct to Alex Panton, and also to UK-based services and different resources that you can access as well. There's apps that we signpost to, Calm and Headspace. If you haven't used them, I would definitely recommend. If you want some, I mean, we don't necessarily have the beauty of having Caitlin there to kind of guide us through breath work every day, but there are some guided meditations and breath work on there, which they have variations of like 5 minutes to half an hour to beyond. So definitely recommend checking those out for sure. But there's a kind of something for everybody. But as we kind of said earlier, I think you know, if and when there is anything that we can, if you have a question or anything that you kind of want a little extra guidance or support with, please do feel free that you can reach out to one of us in the team. Rita, are we good to go on to the prize draw, or is there anything else? We're all good. Okay, fab. So for those of you who have taken part in, I'm going to hope this comes up okay. You will have seen that we've had a member survey out this period where we have been gathering various different thoughts and catching kind of like your Siri's trying to talk to me on what you guys want really for 2023 and beyond for Cayman Connection, and making sure that our offer is reflective of members. And it's been really, really insightful, really helpful for everyone who's participated. And of course, the lucky winner receives a return flight, a Cayman Airways flight. So this is where we're going to do the choosing of this person. So I'm going to spin the wheel, although I'll have to take it off and then check whose name is next to the number after this. But we can have a little drum roll to see who's going to be the lucky winner. Although it's a muted drum roll isn't quite quite a suspense. Okay, so it's person number 30. So I'm just going to take this off and then find who is number 30. Bear with me. Sorry, on Zoom it's not quite the same as getting the name out the hat. Number 30 is Andre Mena Hebert. I hope I've said that name correctly. So congratulations to Andre for winning the flight prize, for taking part in the member survey. We hope to see lots of pictures of you where you go to your destination. But yeah, so we will obviously contact them directly. But thank you guys, everybody, for coming, being with us today. We'll be on for a little bit if you want to stay on and just chat. Massive thank you to Miss Sarafina, Dr. Shari, and of course Caitlin for sharing your thoughts, experiences, and doing some exercises with us. I'd say tonight/today, depending on where you are in the world. And we hope that you can go and do some breath work tomorrow, maybe even tonight before bed. But thank you so much.
Thank you. It was awesome.
Thanks, Caitlin.
Bye.
Take care, guys.
Thank you for having me as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Thank
for having
you.
me. Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
That was great. Thanks very much.